Hello, hello, hello. You are listening to the Mystery Hour, the first, only, and number one late night paranormal talk show right here on this station. And we are approaching finals week. And to relax, the Mystery Hour team, we've decided to revisit one of our most favorite topics, ghosts. So for the ninth broadcast of the Mystery Hour, I'd like to welcome you to Ghosts 2, Electric Boogaloo. I'm Roy Michaels, and I'm not alone here tonight. I'm joined by Robert,
Hello.
Evan,
How's it going?
Joseph,
Hello.
Keith,
Hi, everybody.
and Connor,
Hi.
who will be breaking the ice and introducing this night's topic.
Well, here on the Mystery Hour, we get a lot of questions about, about ghosts. Where do they come from? What are they? What is their existence like? And so on. Now, if we're being honest, we have never known the answers to these questions. All we've been able to do is offer speculation. Until now. I recently found some documents in my father's attic, of all places, that can finally shed some light on ghosts and their origin. According to these documents, from 1978 to 1985, my father was a member of a secret, now defunct government organization codenamed Procul Mundi, which is Latin for distant worlds. The organization was dedicated to researching realities separate from ours, specifically if their existence was a threat to America and mankind as a whole. During Distant World's brief existence, its scientists discovered a mass energy field propagating throughout all of space and time that they called the substantive boundary. Using advanced technology adopted from Reagan's abandoned Star Wars program, they sent probes to the advent horizon of the boundary to analyze it. The data they received was far more interesting and terrifying than they expected. Not only did they get in-depth analysis of the boundary itself, but they received chilling messages from beings from beyond the boundary. They were not sure who or what the voices were, until one of their language experts decided to compare the EVPs held by the Paranormal Defense Agency. The magnetic resonance patterns aligned perfectly. It proved without a shadow of a doubt that the reality behind the substantive boundary was filled with the dead. Worse, after analyzing the structural integrity field, my father and his fellow physicists discovered that the boundary was deteriorating exponentially as it spread out according to the expansion of the known universe. Holes were forming in the boundary at a rapid pace, allowing their world to seep into ours and ours into theirs. They inadvertently made one of the greatest discoveries of all time. The holes are the means by which ghosts enter our world. The holes are what allow us to contact the dead using special devices and incantations. If we do not do something about this soon, the boundary will disappear entirely within 300 years, and our worlds will collide in a fiery singularity of time and space, destroying the universe as we know it. Unfortunately, Ronald Reagan closed the program, calling it goofy and worthless pseudoscience of the worst kind, and all research is ended. So on this day, where we worship our beloved home planet, Earth, please remember to email or call your senator and ask them to support further research into closing the boundary. For good. We can do this. But until that day, we are free to communicate with the spirits of the world beyond, which brings us to tonight's show, Ghost 2.
Ah, that's a very stirring introduction, Connor. Round of applause, please.
Good job.
Much appreciated.
I never really thought of the paranormal repercussions of climate change. If what you say is true, do you think that pollution would narrow the boundary between our world and the other?
Oh, I have no doubt that that's a huge part of it. So, if we could tackle this issue, we could tackle climate change along with it. We could kill two birds with one stone, so to speak.
Yeah, so would you say that paranormal phenomena has increased as greenhouse gases have proliferated in our atmosphere?
Undoubtedly, and the paranormal beings have become more. They've interfered more with our lives. You see more poltergeists, especially.
Oh, the nastiest kind. second only to dynamic encounters.
Oh yes. Not sure. Actually, I guess it's possible that the demons reside behind that boundary as well, but we just don't know. We need further research.
Yeah, Keith.
How specifically how far has your father's research gone? Do you know? How much about the boundary has he personally discovered?
He only found out that the dead live within that reality, but he doesn't know anything about the reality that they live in. He doesn't know if it was like Earth, or if it has the same kind of laws of nature of our universe, or anything like that. The organization was just shut down far too soon.
So would I be correct in assuming that nobody has ever transversed to the other side? Nobody has ever gone through the boundary and seen what's over there?
Not anyone living.
Yeah, that's interesting because I feel like it would be cool for us to take a journey to the other side if that's possible at some point.
You
guys
probably
wanna-
needed special lessons for that.
special license?
Lessons, even like
Oh.
diving certification. You know,
That's a good point. And who's to give those lessons?
I don't know.
Yeah.
FAA.
Let us know if
The
you know.
FAA.
Yeah, look into that.
So the name of the organization was the Paranormal Defense Agency.
That was the organization that gave the EVPs to my father's organization, so they could compare it to the voices they had heard through their probes.
So finally a positive connotation to the abbreviation PDA.
Yeah, it's about time.
It really is. Yes, Rob, do you have a question?
I actually do.
Oh,
Connor,
Joseph.
Connor, how is your dad doing?
Oh, he's doing well. I'm not sure how he's going to react when he finds out that I've spilled some state secrets, because he was told to just go back to his life and get a normal job and have a family and act like none of it ever happened.
Honestly, I think you might have jumped the shark on this one. On Ghosts 2 Electric Boogaloo right here on the Mystery Hour on 91.9 FM WMB Orono, Maine. You might have to pull a Snowden after that one. I don't think it's safe for you here. I think they're gonna triangulate on your position, and
I don't think he'll get snowed in. It's it's almost summer.
Well, I may get snowed in because I'm going to Russia right after the show.
Oh, okay. Good luck
good
with that.
strap.
Are those Snowden's exact glasses that you're wearing right now?
They used to be my dad's. These were the glasses he wore at the organization as a top physicist.
I'm glad you put thought into your glasses. I'm sure our listeners appreciate your appearance.
Really conveys your intelligence.
Yes.
Handsome.
Yeah, I think so. If you wear glasses, you're smarter. That's just a fact.
It is a fact. Plus 10 and
So, in recent years, do you think you've been personally affected by an increase in paranormal phenomena due to climate change? And for anyone in the room, for that matter.
it's hard to say. I mean, we come across ghosts so much, so that's just it's hard to say if we're seeing them more often or not. Keith?
Yeah, it's hard to really say whether it's because it's really hot outside or because it's just a busy day for us.
Yeah.
Like sometimes there's just a lot of ghosts and it happens to be pretty hot outside.
I mean, I'd have to say there was an upward trend, though, right?
Oh,
I mean,
almost
within
certainly.
the past years, of course, like climate change, it goes up and down with the seasons, and sort of the same thing happens when you look at ghost occurrences.
I suppose since we seek ghosts, yeah, the encounters have definitely heightened, I think. There are more of them.
I've got kind of a strange question. If you guys could be a ghost, would you be a ghost when you died?
Provided we had the choice.
Yes.
What kind of capabilities do I possess? If I were to haunt a place, what sort of events would I be able to cause? Like, am I a poltergeist? Do I get to open cabinets?
Yeah.
Do I get to scratch on walls, go around moaning?
A very powerful entity.
Really?
Yeah.
And what's the drawback? Can I
You're a ghost.
unghost, or am I just a ghost forever?
Ghost forever.
Hmm.
So I can't say, oh, I'm done being a ghost. I'm sick of being conscious and just drift off into nothingness.
Exactly.
What about when the universe ends? Am I still a ghost after that?
No.
Can I travel through that ghost rift to go back to like hang out with the other ghosts?
On the weekends.
I'm in.
Alright.
I'd say yeah, probably.
That's a great deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one.
You guys want to haunt Humane or what?
I mean, it's like immortality, but not really.
Wait, did you say
Yeah.
Humane? Haunt Humane?
Yep.
Humane is one of my haunts. I'm here 5 days a week.
Oh.
So it's the opposite. You don't have weekends.
Perhaps.
It could be like 2 of those days are the weekends.
Yeah, so Joseph, I heard you mention that when the universe ends, you are no longer a ghost, and I feel like that would suggest that ghosts are entities bound within the realm of reason. Is that
I'm gonna go
something
ahead
you
and
believe?
pass before you even ask.
I'm sorry?
I'm gonna go ahead and pass before you finish asking.
Good choice.
Thanks.
I think if you look at my father's research, then it is clear that they're part of the universe as a whole, just in a different
I mean, I think
part of
if
it.
your father's research was, important, President Ronald Reagan would have continued the program for the, for the sake of America. Yes, Robert.
Yeah, I think if you pay heed to the theory that says the universe is going to expand and then contract back in on itself, and all time is going to reverse linearly, ghosts would just be another stage in life.
Or death.
So ghosts would just get sucked back into the flesh and then walk away as a human.
I don't like people really need to think of ghost retirement homes, if you will. It would really curb hauntings that are really just a plight in the real estate business. If you just had one place where you could isolate spirits and maybe cater to them, bring in some unsuspecting visitors for them to scare, because ghosts like scaring people. Yes, Keith?
At the same time, you could employ the ghosts. You give them something to live for, If you were a ghost and you were tired of doing the same thing over and over, then if someone said, hey, do you want to sweep at our retirement home? It would probably sound like a pretty good option after all that time. They could entirely maintain themselves, Evan.
I feel like there's also an alternative where you could just capture the ghosts and put them in a place where they couldn't get out.
Oh, that's... All right.
I believe you're describing a phenomena which is present in the film Ghostbusters.
Ghost trap.
Yeah, essentially.
Keep the suckers in.
Yeah, and then we don't have to worry about even supporting them in any way.
Yeah, Spencer.
I'd like to get back to Robbie just for a second about the expand and crunch idea. So is what you're saying that by the end of the universe, everyone has died, and then they're all ghosts, and then it crunches, and they're all in bodies again, and then it starts all over as like a cycle?
Yeah, that's the theory.
That's actually really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually heard this, that humans eventually evolve into dinosaurs, and then they get wiped out, and then the new human comes around.
Well, if it's a kind of circle, I guess that makes a lot of
It's
sense.
more like an
right?
oval.
It's more like a
An
slinky.
oval.
Or a slinky, I guess.
An ellipsis, I think, right?
Any shape, really.
Not a square, though. Come on.
Yeah.
Do we know any
course.
like theoretical physics majors that could kind of come here and weigh in on this notion?
Connor's dad, right?
He doesn't do that anymore.
Oh.
Oh, that's right.
Does your dad listen to the Mystery Hour a lot?
He does, yeah, every Friday.
That's cool. I know Joseph's dad does.
Yeah, he does.
So who would win in a fight?
Joseph's dad.
I don't know. That's a tough one because Joseph's dad is really tough, but my dad also beats up tough people at his work every day. So, but he may meet his match with Joseph's dad.
Joseph's dad beats up swamp animals for fun.
That's a good point.
It's like an everyday thing for
my
him.
dad beats up the swamp animals of Bangor.
Does
of
your
downtown Bangor?
does your dad look like you?
Looks like half like me.
The other half is muscle.
Yeah, it's Muscle and Connor. That's why I don't have any.
He took it all.
He took it all. Yeah, it really grinds my gears. But he's my dad. I can't.
He kind of deserves it.
Yeah. So.
All right, so enough about dads. How about ghosts? I was really hoping that would actually segue if I just said it, but apparently it's not just going to happen if I do it.
Well, I think we were really getting on the topic of dads. I was just about to say that like even though you are older than me, I've always sort of thought of you as my son. But yeah, maybe we'll give Ghosts a shot after the break. It is now 12:21. You are listening to the Mystery Hour right here on 90.9 FM WMB Orono, Maine. I'm Roy Michaels. We'll be back soon.
It's early in the morning. On up till 3.
Well, it's not that early. 7 to 9 on Thursday mornings, tune into The Bud Show. R&B and soul from the 60s, music's greatest decade.
Tune in to The Bud Show, Thursday mornings at 7 a.m. on WMEB 91.9 FM, Orono, Maine. College radio in a class by itself.
You lost it over there. It was fine until you looked in my eyes. I can look back and you say something.
Both of you. That's like the school.
It was so obviously like a segue. It's pretty. It was all we needed though. That's what I was gonna say. I just couldn't think of anything about names.
I thought you wanted to let the mystery.
Nice. There must be a way.
Yeah, it's just stabil.
Das. That's what you said, right?
Das ist nicht stabil, ja?
Das ist nicht stabil.
I'm gonna lick my hand before I put it down
Mike's
there.
gonna be out.
Make sure to touch all your hands.
Just gonna have to move Mike's here. Everyone position their mics right. Right position. Wait, we have to be, how are we gonna do this? Is it gonna be hard? P first. Let's try it. R.
I think he wants to go further.
Where's the I? See, we can't do that. Where is it?
What? Can you hear us move?
Hello and welcome back. You are listening to the Mystery Hour, the first, only, and number one late night paranormal talk show, right here on 91.9 FM WMEB, or no Maine. Tonight, we're talking about ghosts, and this is the second time we've discussed ghosts on the Mystery Hour before, and although we conducted a pretty good investigation, there's one thing keeping us from the very core of the topic to achieve a complete understanding. And the one thing holding us back is something we all share: our lives. Therefore, I've taken the liberty of poisoning Keith earlier this evening
What?
so that he may die and become our official field reporter in the underworld.
Roy, you're messing with me, Roy.
That's so nice of you, Keith.
I didn't volunteer for this at all.
You didn't?
I
See, that's why I kept your mic off there for a little bit.
I thought you were just trying to prove a point about the Facebook
when we
vote.
started the show, we signed contracts. I had you sign a contract.
I didn't read it. You just gave me a yoo-hoo, and I gave you my signature.
Did you read? You didn't read the back of the Yoo-hoo?
No, you said it was like malted milk balls. I just trusted it.
Well, that's your mistake.
Yeah.
So how long ago was the poison
Yeah,
administered?
How long do I have?
Not long. Just kidding. You have forever.
Ah!
I'm having a laugh on you, Keith.
No.
I met with some
Aw,
law
Keith,
students
you getting
at the
bamboozled.
library on campus earlier this week, and we talked it through. And you know what? It seemed like getting away with it, killing you so that you may be a journalist from the other side and report back to us, is a very big ordeal. And this close to finals week, it's something I really didn't want to waste my time on. And plus, the mystery hour doesn't really have the budget for that anyway. But no, I have a much better idea. Instead, I've decided that we should interview a member of the dead to find out firsthand what it's like to be a ghost. How will we do this, you might ask? Well, gentlemen, underneath the table at which you are currently sitting, you will find a Ouija board.
There it is.
Yes.
We got it.
We found it. There we go.
Mission accomplished.
G found it.
Be really careful.
So do we put it in the middle of the table? Is that...
Yeah, is it open?
Yep.
Are you all set?
Okay, we've set it up. We have the centerpiece.
All right, well,
It's on the center.
The cursor.
on the table in front of you, you are gazing upon an 11 by 17 inch glow-in-the-dark piece of cardboard and a plastic planchette equipped with 3 rubber gliding feet. Both objects were manufactured in America, packaged in 1998, distributed by Hasbro, and possessed of the power to invite a demonic entity into your home, or worse, your soul. Or so I've been told. I've been wanting to use a Ouija board as an instrument of paranormal inquiry on the show since its inception. However, everyone I have consulted has advised against it. I've been told that Ouija boards are essentially a passport to hell, a gateway that allows demonic entities to prey upon foolish children, and that using one on the show would be essentially playing with fire. Well, I've decided to go through with the use of a Ouija board for the purpose of live radio journalism for two reasons. The first being that, while I may believe that Bigfoot is in fact an interdimensional being that travels through the multiverse using warp holes, and that aliens most likely helped ancient Egyptians build the pyramids, and that Ellsworth is infested by a dangerous but welcoming sect of vampires, I do not believe that the Ouija board on the table in front of you is anything more than a children's novelty item. And secondly, I will not be using the board myself. That is your job, and you are in an adjacent room, so the coast is clear for me. However, that doesn't mean I'm taking this Ouija board business lightly. Long-term listeners of the show will know that the second most important thing on the Mystery Hour is friendship, and that is surpassed by one golden value, and that is safety. Therefore, I have prepared a list of rules for us to follow so that we don't get possessed and so that we don't become known as the guys who ended up getting the station haunted for everyone.
That'd be a big black mark on our record.
Yeah. So never use the Ouija board alone.
All right,
Off
that's
to a
squared
good
away.
start,
Yeah,
yeah.
check.
Don't use it if you are depressed, stressed, irate, upset, bored, furious, sad, trepidatious, afraid, shocked, overconfident, or drowsy, as you could let a demon into your life.
Can't use it.
There's
sorry, I
four
gotta go.
personalities using this board. How you guys feeling?
Good to go. Depressed and confident.
Just,
take the risk.
Completely drain yourself of personality. Like, take Robbie, for example.
I am ready for this board.
Okay,
To be boardroom with you.
here's one that I want you guys to know for sure. Never ask when you are going to die, and never ask where the gold is buried. I know that's a pressing issue for a lot of you, especially Keith. You guys have a silver coin with you.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't have a. Nope.
Car keys?
Okay, well we don't need that. The silver coin is if an evil spirit is coming through, you place it on the board, and it seals it. But we'll follow the rules, right?
It seems like something good to have.
We don't need it.
All right.
I ate like $1 and change when I was a kid, and it never all came out.
Oh, you've got the
So
spare.
it's probably fine.
All right, there are like 20 rules here, so I'm just
With
gonna shoot through some. Don't open a door when you're using the Ouija board, because if something does come through, you don't want to let it out into the hallway. You don't want that running through your home. Don't burn the Ouija board because it will scream, and I don't want to adjust the levels for the purpose of radio after that happens.
Quick question.
Yeah.
The spirits can't go through walls and doors? Like they have a physical presence in the world?
I believe in the Ouija board situation.
Okay.
Because you are going to be conducting the seance, you do realize that.
Yeah.
And don't utilize the Ouija board in the event that you are a doubter or an atheist, as you could get wickedness, soul, or devil.
You get devil?
You
Wait,
could get
what?
devil.
Alright. I also, for safety, I brought knee pads and elbow pads for everyone.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks.
I've been stressing out this whole time. I think I'm actually clear to do it without any of those negatives now.
Alright, yeah. Don't need to
I was worried about my elbows.
scrape your bows.
All right. Well, are we prepared
As good as it's going to get, I think.
to conduct the interview?
I think so. I think Robbie's...
Okay, gentlemen. Would anyone be interested in participating in a live radio interview on the Mystery Hour the first, only, and number one late night paranormal talk show on the University of Maine's own student-run radio station, 91.9 FM WMEB, Orono, Maine, college radio, and a class by itself.
My name is Robert Keene, and I'm ready to participate.
I was actually trying to summon a spirit. That was an incantation.
You fell for it.
It works on people
You took the
too.
bait.
It proves everything.
And you said your name. You're not supposed to say your name around the Ouija board.
Do you have to start over?
Just flip it upside down.
Oh, it's like an action sketch?
And, yeah,
We're just going to shake it up a little.
Shake it.
Sorry, guys.
All right.
That's all right.
Clean slate. No ghoulies.
I've never used a Ouija before either.
All right. Could you invite a presence? Ask the Ouija board if anyone is there, please.
Is anyone there?
Ouija.
Oh, it went straight to yes.
Yeah, it jumped right there.
What the?
I've never seen it move that quickly.
It moved very quickly.
Is it supposed to move quickly or slowly?
Do you have magnets under here? There's no magnets.
No magnets. Okay.
I'm gonna flip the board again. This is just that bad.
No.
Don't
please
do that.
Don't flip the
Don't flip
board.
it.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah, that
Could
would.
we pull up a chair between Joseph and Keith so that the spirit may have a place to sit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
1 second.
I don't want to. No. Are you kidding me?
You are
Keith,
being
stop being a
so
crybaby.
rude right
You
now.
tried to kill me, and now I'm sitting beside the ghost.
He was bamboozling you.
That's a good.
I'm getting bamboozled. No. Here it is.
We don't have a chair, but we have a stool.
Is that okay, or
Oh, let's ask the Ouija board.
Ghost.
is a stool okay?
Do you enjoy lumbar support?
No,
Oh,
he's
back
he's
to
okay
yes.
with it.
Okay.
Yes, a little bit more
I
slowly.
would like to remind you that it's important to be polite and never troll our guest.
I don't think trolls are about ghosts. We don't. It's not this episode.
Yeah, no dads, no trolls, only ghosts.
Yeah, Trolls was Woodland Beast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just open the door, dude.
Yeah, I have to get water.
We don't open.
Close the door.
Do we flip it now?
Close the door.
I have to get. Oh.
No,
You
we
are
can't
so
flip it.
haunted.
All right, it's closed. It's closed.
The spirit could go out.
Is this your first time on live radio?
No.
It still says no.
Yeah.
What is your name?
It's moving. Are you doing that?
I think it's all Evan.
P.
P.
How old are you?
Oh, hold on.
R.
I.
I. N.
N.
And
Who?
C.
E. S.
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 Princess.
It's Can cats be ghosts?
It just says princess.
Yeah, but it's Princess, right? Wait, was it Princess or Princess?
Princess was my cat between 2002 and 2008, and
What,
she
dude?
disappeared unexpectedly.
I remember Princess.
Yeah.
Hold on. It's moving again. It's moving again.
Uh-oh.
Ask it how.
It's moving
Yeah,
again.
ask how old are you, Princess? Just sorry, I didn't mean to call you Princess. G. 6?
G6.
I think I went right
is
to
it playing
5.
chess with you guys? I don't.
Oh man, it could.
Do you own an aircraft?
What? An aircraft?
No
No.
aircraft.
No aircrafts.
Okay.
All right, so
It's kind of like 20 questions a little bit.
definitely cat.
I believe Princess Diana drove a G6 Humvee of some kind, protected vehicle. Can you ask if she drove a land vehicle called the G6?
I don't think she did.
Yeah.
Is this Princess Diana in this room with us right now?
It's going to no.
No, yeah, there we go.
It is violent. No.
Quite conflicting, but it said no.
I've actually never seen it that torn between two options.
Are you a happy spirit?
No.
Why are you unhappy?
R. E. D.
Red.
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 Can we help you?
Yes.
Yes.
It says yes. This is insane.
How?
Whoa, it's moving. D. I. E. Oh my god.
Really funny,
God.
Evan. Just
Yeah.
forcing it
You're
on us like
serious?
that.
I
Was
didn't
that
even,
you?
I didn't even touch it.
Evan.
Your fingers weren't even on that?
No.
Okay.
That's a little spooky.
Okay, well,
Princess never
We're
liked
not-
me, you guys. I don't think Princess liked me. If that.
Princess predated your cat son, Peanut, and I think that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, well.
They were the same color.
did any of us do anything to upset Princess in
Did I-
any way?
Did I meet Princess? I don't
I'm
think I
not sure
did.
that-
Almost certainly not, no.
No.
Roy, do you have any more questions?
Yes, this is for the board.
All right.
Do you view time as a flat circle? Do you see everything happening at once, including the future and the past?
Whoa! It just went to yes 3 times.
Robert, I'm going to ask you not to DJ the Ouija board. That is one of the rules that you have to be gentle with it.
I didn't touch it.
It must guide your hand.
I think he was trying to hold it back. Is what it looked like.
Yeah.
That could have been it.
I have a
Yeah.
good bird's eye view of the whole affair up here, and it was just going crazy. Robbie couldn't even contain it.
Yeah, Mike.
It did sound like you were DJing it.
If it's true that you can see the future, can you confirm that Rey from Star Wars The Force Awakens is in fact Luke Skywalker's daughter?
Oh, it's moving.
N?
N. O.
S?
S.
P? O? I? L? E? R?
What?
That could be a Q. S. No spoiler X?
What?
What?
Wow.
Could someone in the booth look it up? Is it a different language?
No spoilers?
It was a Q. Okay, yeah. It's actually right beside the R. That's entirely possible.
We have a movie buff here that we're communicating with.
Yeah, real smart cat.
Was your cat a movie buff?
My cat watched Space Jam every single night of its life, so probably 2,100 times. Pretty impressive.
2,100. Wow.
Yeah, I would say that makes your cat a movie buff. Definitely.
Wait, should we ask it how many times it watched Space Jam?
Could we just ask it what its favorite movie is?
True.
What is your favorite movie?
I can't see the board right now.
It's actually
S.
S. Oh.
S.
P.
B. Oh.
Could I make a
Princess.
suggestion? I don't mean to interrupt our guest. I'm sorry.
That's very
Could I
rude.
make a suggestion?
Go ahead.
You're trying to anger
Let's
ghosts?
try this with close your eyes. Let's do this with your eyes closed.
How are we gonna know what letters are? on the
Connor
board?
has a bird's eye view of the situation.
I've got it all under control, Roy.
Good idea.
Okay.
All right, we'll see how it influences us.
Could you ask the question again?
What's up?
Did you say what's up?
That's the question.
Connor, is anything happening?
Is it spelling dead air?
Looks like it's spelling basket B A LL. So it appears that not only was Princess a movie buff, but maybe a basketball buff as well.
That's very
Where is
interesting.
Joseph going to be buried? But first, it is 12:46, which means it is time for our second commercial break. I'm Roy Michaels, and you're listening to the Mystery Hour on 91.9 FM WMEB, Orono, Maine. We'll be right back.
It only takes a minute to find out if you may have prediabetes, and you can do it at doihaveprediabetes.org. But you're probably not going to, are you? Kids, work, listening to the radio. You're busy, which is great because busy people can't get prediabetes. Oh my, I read that wrong. They can. Should have worn my glasses. So visit doihaveprediabetes.org and take a short test, because prediabetes can be reversed.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its pre-diabetes awareness partners.
Jam.
Hello, welcome back. I'm Roy Michaels, and you're listening to the Mystery Hour right here on 91.9 FM WMEB, Orono, Maine. We're going to go to the mystery from history shortly, but Connor, I believe you have something you would like to share with us?
Recently, a dear friend of ours, Captain Smithers, sailed headlong into a maelstrom, and he's now deceased. So tonight we're going to use one of his very personal items, his pet crabby, and we're going to use it to summon his ghost and ask him about what it's like in the afterlife.
Seems a little bit ambitious.
Yeah. So I think I hear something. I think I hear something coming through the abyss. Do you guys hear that?
It's very faint.
It sounds like pain.
Can you just promise me
how do we
that
summon him?
Krabby won't be harmed in the?
Definitely won't be.
We're gonna turn him into a hermit
I
crab.
was thinking of
Hermit
hermit
crab.
crabs.
Connor, what is? Connor.
Great timing.
What was that? Is he coming through? I think I hear his voice coming through from the distance.
Hey now.
I think it is now time for the mystery from history with Evan Lane.
All right, sounds good. All right, so our mystery from history tonight concerns London in 1762, and it took place in Smithfield, which was a region of London. It was sort of an up-and-coming region that many people were moving to at the time, but was still a little bit run down, on a street called Cock Lane. It was in a rather rundown apartment, and it was the residence of William Kent and his lover Frances. She was not his wife, but his housemaid, or housemaid in quotations, if you want to put it that way. In reality, Mr. Kent had attempted to marry her, but that did not work because the church would not allow it after his wife had died. So such a scurrilous tale itself would be enough to ignite the gossip of much of London. This was not the end of the couple's story. The first parts of the haunting began in 1759, when William left town and his wife remained behind. She heard scratching against the other side of one of the walls. And at the time she was pregnant, so she was there with a friend of hers who was staying with her the whole time. And so she was hearing the scratching on the other side of the wall, and it continued day in, day out. Fairly erratic, but she continued to hear it. At one point, she thought it might have been the cobbler, who was actually right next door, and she thought that he was working on whatever cobblers do. What do cobblers do?
I believe they build cobblestone.
Oh, okay. Anyway. So he would be working away, but then it came to a Sunday when he didn't work at all. And so she was quite interested as to why she would continue to hear the scratching. Then the next strange event occurred when they had a visitor come to the apartment, and he saw a figure, like an ethereal figure of light, just suddenly spring up a stairwell.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, of course, everyone was really freaked out about this situation. So, there were several conflicts between the couple and the landlord from the apartment. And so they ended up moving away. But the haunting continued to occur in the same location. Frances continued to hear the slow scratching on the other side of the wall in her new house. And she also continued to have these same experiences in which they would see figures here and there. She unfortunately died from smallpox in 1760 while she was, very close to having her child. And at home at Cock Lane, there was an escalation in the hauntings. The scratchings continued on, and many of the people were having different experiences in which they were being terrorized by this entity, whoever it was. So then there was an investigation launched because of it. And a local rector, who is essentially like a religious leader, a Methodist religious leader, came and was invited to the home. And after several seances and attempts to contact the dead, they actually made contact with the entity. And they found that it was Frances. And the reason Frances said that she was haunting this home was because her husband, William Kent, had actually killed her and her unborn child.
Ooh.
So at that point, the local press caught onto the story and just took it out of control. And William Kent didn't find out about this information until he actually saw it in like the local papers and pamphlets that were being released about it. It became so popular that they would have public seances at this home. And then the investigation continued because of it as well. William Kent eventually got all of the charges dropped against him, especially that he had killed his wife. And he continued to deny the allegations even when much of the press continued to say that he had done it. But after a while, everything died out. And then one day, eventually, they actually dug up the body of Frances and found that she didn't really have smallpox. It didn't seem like she had smallpox at all. And that her body was really well preserved, as if it had been arsenic poisoned. So it's kind of up to interpretation as to if he actually killed her or not. But one thing for sure is that it was awfully scary for all the people involved.
It sounds like a murder to me.
It definitely sounds like
It sounds
murder.
very murdery.
Yeah.
That's a very strange coincidence with the seance. Blaming, I'm sorry, what was his name?
The rector?
The husband.
Oh, the husband, William Kent?
Yeah, it's strange that the William Kent was mentioned during the seance.
Yeah.
Do you think that the paranormal event that took place had any clout in the court of law?
I don't know. They seem to be convinced that it did. And I also read that during this time period, a lot of people were very encouraged and interested in the fact that they might be able to contact spirits, and therefore they would actually like go seeking them out, thinking that would bring them closer to like the afterlife or bring them a connection, to heaven or God.
Good research, Evan.
Do you think, this is a crazy notion, but do you think that seances and paranormal inquiry and investigation could be a helpful aid in a crime scene investigation?
Most likely, most certainly. I think we should probably have a paranormal investigator in every crime scene.
Yes, I also believe you need a paranormal interpreter, because you cannot simply trust the people performing the seance. You need an alternative observer who has witnessed it many times, and they can really get the nuances of the situation. They could see whether or not one person was really influencing the direction of the conversation. So if you got it notarized that they were there, I believe that you could probably, depending on their level of expertise, get it approved by a court of law.
Oh, definitely, yeah. And I think you could bring that evidence to, anywhere all the way up to the Supreme Court if you got it to that point.
I'm sure they'd look at it.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that. I'm sorry. I was just thinking about the rector and how he was able to communicate with the dead. And I was thinking about our Ouija board ritual, I guess, before we went on break. And it must be nice to actually get through and have a team of serious people who are working toward a common goal and treating the equipment with respect, and I just really admire that. And hopefully one day,
Yeah, one day.
Keith?
I would just like to ask, I guess I'm sort of caught up on this. I can't get Princess out of my mind. What do you guys think about ghost animals? How do you think that works? Previously, until just now, I hadn't considered it at all. I just thought when they were gone, they were gone.
I mean, I think this has kind of reignited an interesting idea about cats, in which maybe in the spirit world they're actually much more able to express their sentience than they are in the real world, if that's the case, but I'm not really sure.
I'm going to take a leaf right out of Evan's booklet and just bring up...
What a way to say that.
Wow, okay.
Just bring up
Did you rehearse that?
No, bring up the
He's
pyramid.
been thinking about it all
Listen.
Booklets, leaflets.
He says it all the time.
Go ahead, Robbie.
Pyramids with the hieroglyphics. The Egyptians.
That's it.
They always drew about cats.
They did.
They did always.
Will
draw
you
about
step
cats.
off?
Cats in Egyptian.
Strange parallel to modern civilization. Cat memes. Hieroglyphics. Is there a connection? Is it just rooted in...
Yeah, in Egyptian lore, cats were generally regarded as, I think, guarding the spirit realm.
Guardians of the Underworld, yeah.
Oh, there we
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
I believe that they have enough power to really weasel their way into any society.
Oh yeah, they're cute and they scratch and it hurts really bad.
Like,
So
they're
they can
jerks,
really-
and we still love them no matter what. So
Yeah.
they have some sort of strength.
Connor?
Do we think that we really just contacted Princess, or could it have been a demon trying to fool us?
Absolutely
That's
not.
always possible.
knowing Keith's cat...
Hold
and
on. We have a few...
it seems we have a
opinions.
dust-up on the program.
I could be in denial. I just really want to believe it's Princess.
Yeah, I was actually going to say that he might be in denial. I
He-
might just be pessimistic.
I told you before we used the Ouija board to clear yourself of emotion. I mean, we did that.
We did.
2 hours before the show,
second
we all
emotion.
meditated together. Listened to some post-rock.
In the parking lot of Aroma Joe's.
Yeah, and it was pretty nice.
I was still very emotional. I think I brought emotional feelings in.
Well, I think Heath clearly did too, because
I guess
it's
it
about
shows
his
now.
cat, yeah.
How could we do this better in the future?
Androids.
No cats.
Perfect. Not perfect, because no cats, like you said.
I'm going to leave if you say stuff like that.
Yeah, he's heard enough.
He's really
Roy.
punishing us.
All right, well,
That was Joseph Willett.
That was Keith dropping his.
I tried to leave. It didn't work.
He's in a real.
I was gonna make a
state
point.
of despair right now. So if the listeners could just forgive him.
Now, I had a week off from work and I came across a ghost, and it was a very aggressive ghost.
What was his name?
Ghostface. And let me tell you, this guy was a real killer. I actually have a quote I wrote down from him. He said during the
Where'd you write it
investigation.
down?
In my brain.
Oh, okay.
Brain writing. You'll get there one day. You just have to be very smart to do it.
Oh, sorry, I'm not smart.
Not
so, yeah,
stupid.
Could
Yeah,
you
you'll get
please
there.
could you please spit this quote?
Yeah, I could do that. He said, "Who wants to battle at dawn? I'm James Bond in the octagon with 2 razors." And I think that's very aggressive for any entity. And what do you guys think about that?
Is he referring to Occam's razor?
Nope. Octagon.
Oc-
Do you know what an octagon is?
It's like a shape people fight in.
Right, but at the octagon with 2 razors.
All right,
Has 8 sides
does
of
anyone
reaction.
else-
Is it an occult shape in any way?
I don't know. Connor, you look like you know most cults.
I do know most cults, and I don't believe the octagon is an occult figure. The hexagon certainly is, but that's 2 sides away.
And there's another one I have here. I'm cleaning up the language a little bit. People want me dead, but they're scared to step to me. Rip their guts out like a hysterectomy.
Ooh.
Now I thought that was interesting because he was already dead.
Beautiful wordplay.
Hot
Very.
fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm. I believe you. I don't mean any offense when I say this, but I did just look that up on my phone.
Yeah.
And I think what you are describing is a pretty ill verse from rapper and Wu-Tang Clan member, the Ghostface Killer.
Yeah.
It's very possible.
I knew I heard that somewhere.
Yeah.
You know,
Is
the
he still
RZA,
alive?
the Jizza, Old Dirty, Raekwon, the chef. He is.
Old Dirty could be
Okay.
propagating it from the grave.
Oh, that's right.
That's true. Rest in peace.
Have you been listening
Yes,
to the
rest in
radio
peace.
again?
I don't do that. Neither should you.
Well, it is now 1 a.m., and that means our hour of mystery has come to a close. I'd like to thank my guests tonight and our guest who visited this station. Yeah, Keith is shaking hands with where he thinks the spirit once was. I would also like to thank a coworker of mine who lent us the Ouija board, but also said you can use this on your show as long as you keep it. And I'm not sure what that's about. I'm a little bit worried to take it home. What do you guys think?
I think we should all sign it and put it in a raffle, a mystery hour raffle.
Let's not deface the Ouija board. It would be defunct if we did that.
Defunct.
I'll sign it.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
I'm pretty sure that's extremely dangerous.
Sign it with silver ink. Ding dong.
I think you should write the names of your enemies on the Ouija board.
Well, that's good because we'll all just sign each other's names anyway.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good loophole.
Yeah.
All right, well, it is 1:02. I'm Roy Michaels. I was joined by Connor, Keith, Joseph, Evan, and Rob.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'd like to thank Jimmy Ozog for composing several original pieces of audio to be used on the Mystery Hour, including our official theme song. I would like to thank the wonderful people at WMEB for making this show possible and helping us grow along the way. And I would like to thank you, the listener, for staying up until the early hours of the morning next to your radio. We'll be back next week, the same time and place, Friday at midnight, right here on 91.9 FM, WMEB, Orono, Maine. I'm Roy Michaels. Thanks for tuning in.
What, he was supposed to play like a theory music. You feel, spell.
I was gonna actually.